So much. First of
Thank
all,
you.
let me just express my gratitude that you took your time and you have shown up. Thank you so much. And let me just also acknowledge this thing that I'm a bit nervous to talk to you. I yesterday only I went through your videos and I really found you an amazing person. And also I was in total awe of your communication skills. So I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to match you. And that kind of feeling I have right now. But let's see how does it happen.
No, I can't see any reason to be afraid of, and you are too an eloquent speaker, I must say that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am still learning, like I'm my way on learning. There are many things that you feel like I need to improve myself in these certain areas. So I think that is my mindset currently. But I am definitely determined to improve myself as a person also, and also in regard of my communication skills in both the areas.
Right.
Okay, so let me just tell something about myself. I would also like to know more about you. Let me just open up with my introduction. So I come from mountains. I live in Solon City. I am a homemaker. I have two beautiful children, and I have been into a marriage for last 6 years. Before marriage, I used to work as a content writer, and I had a YouTube channel before. I was working for that YouTube channel, but in between, I took a break from it. I have started it again now, and meanwhile, I have also found a new channel these days, and that is solely for my own improvement. Like I post conversational videos and that on that channel, and apart from that, I also love to upload some life lessons, some experiences of mine on that channel, that too in English language. And I love writing, reading, and I always wanted to work as a writer, so I have taken up a challenge to work as a writer, and I have taken up a project where I'm working like I'm writing a book for someone else. So this is also going side by side. So that's all about me. And I was into this language before a long time, but I think I never challenged myself in speaking the language. So recently I started taking this kind of thing also. Like I'm taking conversational calls with my co-learners, and it's helping me out. So that's pretty much about me.
Oh, wow. I am so mesmerized by your introduction, and hats off to you that being a mother, you are managing each and every task so well. So, first of all, that's so good to hear from anyone who, after marriage, see, before marriage, we are like freebies, we can do anything. But after marriage and after having children, if you are still trying to groom yourself, if you are trying to get that kind of positive aura around you, that's something pretty good. I think that we all ladies must especially have that me time in our life. Whatever, maybe sipping a cup of hot tea or having a conversation, we must have that kind of activity the whole day where we can feel that, okay, we are enjoying our own time. So, Monika ji, this side Ritu Pathak, and I'm calling you from Agra. It's a beautiful city, and I love my city. Apart from that, I'm an English mentor, teacher, and educationalist, and I love to teach English. English is my passion, first love, and my best leisure time. So you can say like that.
Oh, wow, that's so good. So, how have you been into this YouTube business? How long has it been that you're running a YouTube channel?
Oh, it's recently I had joined this because one of my friends she suggested me to try my hands on. Now I was on the fence whether I should do it or not. But later on I tried and I am enjoying this new journey of mine. Apart from this, I have been in the teaching profession for the last 35 years, teaching Indian and international students as well. So you can say that my dream has come true since childhood. I had only one dream to be an English teacher. So this is very true and connected to the topic that we are going to pick in the session, that we must have ambition. So my only ambition was to be an English teacher and I accomplished that. But still, I consider myself as a beginner, because when you consider yourself as a beginner, then you are giving a chance to your own personality, to your own, you can say, spirit, your soul, your inner self, whatever you name it, to grow. The moment you start thinking that, okay, I am done with my learning process, now nothing is left in my life, you become stagnant. You again are back to square one. So that is my feeling, and that I do mostly.
Yeah, that's right. I believe in the same. I think when we are open to learning, even if like it's been quite some time that we are into something, but when we are open to try out new things and adapt to the, adapt to the updation, I think there is always new doors for us, not just the learning, but also then the world is for you, and you can make use of anything that comes before you. I believe in the same. So today's topic, I would like to open up the topic. So it is going to be life with ambition and life without ambition. Although it just came to me that time when we were talking, and it just hit me. So I thought we should talk about this topic. So I would like you to describe both the lifestyles with ambition and without ambition in one single word for each each the for every each, yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, let's start with what is ambition. According to me, we all must have an ambition. Like it happened to me last week. I was in the batch, I was in the mid of the session, and out of nowhere, I asked one of the students, what you want to do? Now, to notice that student is in 10th standard, right? It's a big class, big grade. And he told me, I don't know. I hate this thing when somebody says, I don't know, right? You must know, right? You don't know how it's come that you don't know about your career, about your progress, about your future. So I asked him, like, I just counter back that, okay, why you don't know, and what you don't know? He said, what I want to become, I don't know. So again, I just asked a question, don't you have any ambition? He said, no. Then, ma'am, what is an ambition? So actually, it diverted the content in that particular session. My question started with what you want to be. And the moment he said, I don't know, I didn't lecture him, but actually I showed him the path that, see, boy, you are so young. You must have an ambition. So, what is an ambition? It is a driving force that keeps you progress in your life. Like for me, I dreamt of becoming an English teacher, right? And I saw the dream with open eyes. I knew there was no atmosphere, there was nothing, no, you can say audio clips, nothing, but only I had the support of my father plus reading. My father suggested, he recommended strictly that if you want to do some wonders, if you want to stand out, then you must start reading. Because you can say it was benefit for me as well, because I was a student of an English institution. Their teachers were Anglo Indians. So yes, I got that kind of atmosphere. Still, I used to shake in my boots whenever it comes to speaking in English, because I didn't know even a single word. So something happened in my life that took a kind of, you can say, that gave me a reason for my life. And I decided to be an English teacher. So that was the ambition. I told that boy that if you don't have any ambition, you don't have any purpose in your life. See, because life without ambition carries the burden of your own life. After, you can say crossing 30 years or 40 years, and your friends, you happen to see your friends who are doing well in their life, who are loaded, who have those big fancy cars, and they can afford going to fancy restaurants, then something will prick in your heart. And then I would ask you, because you were without an ambition. So this is the basic difference. I'm not saying that a person who has ambition or big dream would certainly be described as a rich person or affluent one. No. But certainly you have that kind of motivational drive that leads on going, that gives you that kind of reason to live. Why are you on this universe? Why God has selected you to be a human being? Now because you are a human being, you have no right to waste away your time, your life, and your purpose in life. So person without ambition, I must suggest, please search for the reason why are you here. Don't while away your time. Invest your time. So that is my answer, Monica, that life with ambition is certainly different. It opens new horizons for you. You can see the rainbow in the sky. When you have money in your bag, then you can go, you can do anything that you like. I know that rich people also have a lot of problems. But when you are successful in your life, because you had an ambition, now you can tackle the ups and downs of life. This is very simple. And for that, you have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to burst the myth that everything is destined. I know that God has already filled our forms of life, right? I know that maybe it was in my luck to be an English teacher. But have you ever heard that fortune favors the brave? That means you have to come out of that comfort zone. You have to fight for yourself. Apart from that, I would also suggest that why sometimes people they lose the track of having an ambition, because we are too much into the external validation all the time. We want others to, you can say, confirm, are we looking good? Am I doing am i doing right? Am I on the right path? Okay, so you can take, you can say, a kind of suggestion that is different. But sometimes I find, and it's very bad, that it hurts me when your life completely depends on the happiness of other person. Why? Because you don't have ambition. So yes, for me, ambition is a very strong word, and we all must have that ambition. Otherwise, you will play the role of a fool, and till your last breath, you will be definitely groping in the dark. You will be a dependent person, and you will rot in your bed. So, definitely, for me, ambition is certainly very, very important.
Wow, wow, you spoke really well. I was just looking at your face and your mouth, and the words were like they were just flowing out effortlessly. And the meaning behind your words were really heart-touching. It's really of value. And I think definitely young girls and boys, and not just young girls and boys, but everyone should aspire to, to hunt their ambition in life. But this also makes me point this thing that despite making efforts, some people are not able to reach that state of life where they can find their ambition. So they feel like they are clueless about what they want to have in their life. So the driving force and the passion, those kind of things are missing in their lives. If I spoke about myself also, like in my late 20s, till my late 20s, I wasn't able to figure out what would actually be there, which will make me happy, which will be a fun process for me rather than a pressured thing. And I think when I was in college, I was a very studious student. I was this hardworking girl who would make all my efforts to stand out from the rest and outshine in the class. But then also it was programmed by my parents, or by the society, or by the by the peers, that this is what is right to do. But it wasn't. I was not following my ambition. I was ambitious in the way that I was hardworking. I wanted to make the best out of whatever I was doing. But again, it wasn't the true calling that I was following that time. So That question, that reflection also took me a long time, took me years to reach that state and acknowledge that thing, that okay, the computers, the technology is not meant for me. Or maybe I'm a person who loves words, I'm a person who loves to talk to people, I would love to have interactions with people. And maybe this sounds now a tiny thing, but back then it took me humongous courage to make this acknowledgement. So I think not just me, but this is with most of the people, that they are not able to track their ambition and find their true calling. So what do you suggest, how, what efforts a person should make to find their true calling, their true ambition?
Right. The first question in this condition is, ask yourself, was it my dream or my parents' dream, the dream of the society? And the moment you get the answer, start working in that direction. That shake off the extra responsibilities from your shoulders, right? Each and every second that we breathe in this on this earth in our life is named after somebody or the other. Okay, my parents want this, I have to do this. My brother wants this, I have to do this. The society wants this, I have to do this. No. You have to be strong. So, first remedy is you must have a clear and strong mindset. And I don't believe in the concept that we don't know what we have to do. Like, I get so many, you can say, emails on the regular basis that, ma'am, we want to have a conversation with you. Will you take the session in our group? We are going to pay you. Okay. Everyone can fall into that kind of pit. You feel buttered, you feel flattered. But at the same time, Monica, you have that, you can say, precious gift, and that is your brain. Start using your own brain, start believing in yourself. Why we listen to others? Because we are self-doubting us. We don't have guts to come out of that dilemma, which we don't want to do. Say it straight away, I don't want to do that. Uh, years back, my daughter, she pursued for some other subjects, for some other course or line. After spending, you can say, after wasting the proper word, 1 year, she come out of nowhere and declared, I don't want to, this is not my cup of tea. And definitely, after wasting so much time on that particular course and wasting so much money, is not so valuable as time. So literally, all the other people in my house, they created a havoc, and they started shouting at my little daughter. And she was bitterly crying that, Mom, I thought it earlier that this is for me, but now I am not comfortable. I was the only one who was her backbone at that time. I said, okay, you don't want to do it, skip and quit it completely, right? At once, without wasting any other fraction of a second. So, what my point is that parents, or you can say a person who plays the role of all in all in the family, must come forward and help in this kind of situation, because there is no reason to drag your own life. Ultimately, I always advocate the policy of, this is your life, your problem, and your solution. But I understand the social organization is so well knitted that it throws their own responsibilities onto you. The moment you take birth on this earth, your parents have already decided, I want her to be a doctor, I want her to be an engineer. What my point is that you must ask at least for once to the little one what they actually want to be. Once they open up in front of you, I want to be a doctor, I don't want to pursue CS or CA or BTech or MTech, whatever. Okay, so what do you want to do? If they haven't decided yet, help them to decide. And most probably the question that you put up, that why? Because we don't strategize our process, right? We are putting all the numbers in the wrong sequence. If we want to learn digits or numbers, we will start from one. But what are we doing? Because we don't know, we are confused. So come out of that bafflement, come out of that perplexed situation, find the correct reason, and there are your parents for you, always ready to help you out. You can ask only your parents because they are your real supporters, or your dada dadi, grandparents, right? But not the society, of course. I never worried about the society, to be very brutal. I never worried, right? I always told my children, if you like, and if it is not hurting the sentiments of others, do it, right? But that has some positive vibe in it. So till now, I have one, the you can say, the courage to say that to my children, and they have that kind of responsibility also. My children are responsible. If I had all the time negging them, then they would not have come to me like that. They would have done things, but secretly. So there is a difference. You had to create that kind of attitude where your own children can turn to you anytime and for everything. So till date, my children, they have no secrets. They are in a very bad habit to disclose everything, maybe good or bad, but they discuss each and everything with me, that mama, not with their father, but with me, because they know, according to them, I'm very practical. And I also preach and suggest everyone, Monica, that have that kind of pragmatic approach towards life. If one thing is not working for you, skip to the other one. Let's see. And once you find the right strategy, stick to it forever. After that, if you again find it monotonous, skip to the third one. So this is your life. Now, the final word is, this is your life and this is your problem. So don't look for the solution in the society, right? This is my take on that.
Wow, wow, really amazing. And I would really like to, I would really like for parents to hear this, because although all the parents want only good for their children, but sometimes, there are so many factors because of which parents also hold back from taking brave decisions for their children. But I think all the parents should be aware of, this thing that ultimately it's my life, ultimately it's your kid's life, and ultimately it's the one, it's my, I am my own authority. So I think this should be the, it should be amongst all the parents, and they can actually and definitely pass on this to all the kids, the coming generation. And I would also like to tell a tale from my own life. Like as just I mentioned, that I was also bewildered about my true calling and what I want to be. I took up computer applications when I was into my graduation, and I had no clear reason why did I do that. But again, I was not aware of what actually the passion is, and what would it actually serve you, how would it serve you. I just did it. But later, when I end up being on the top of the class. In fact, I ranked in the university. I was happy about it. But then again, when it was the time to step up in the real practical world, I lost that drive. I felt like what I ended up doing, was it worth? Had I taken the right decision? I end up with these questions, and I was really in bewilderment. I was not into the clarity. I had no clue where I want to head in my life. So that time I started questioning. I started hunting different options, because I was not content with a job in a IT sector or in a corporate sector, performing some algorithms or doing some IT work. But that was the time when I started making a hunt. What appropriate thing would be to continue with my life. So and the story began from that point. I started, I took up this decision that okay, not this, I would like to try literature. And it came from the heart. My intuition guided me towards it, and I took that bold decision. And that was the exact time when my father also passed away. And then everyone in the family was like, how can you take such a decision at this point of time, when you should have been into some job or something like that? You should be the bread earner at this point of time, because the situation is really not in your favor. But I took up the challenge. I enrolled myself in literature course like MA in English. And meanwhile, I also challenged myself in opting for a job that resonated with me. And I became a content writer. And I had no experience of writing, but again, I just, convinced myself that I could do it. Let's do it. And again, the pay scale was very less because earlier I was doing something else, but I kept doing it. I kept following my intuition. And I was very fearful, ma'am, of interacting with people. It was the phobia I had brought up with. I don't know why was that, but it was there in me. I was very insecure as a teenager. I had a lot of insecurities about my own self. But with time I challenged myself. I would take that bold decision to push myself into others people and make a conversation. Even if it would not be very favorable to me, my body would shake, I would behave very differently, my expressions would change. But in spite of all those things, I would just push myself. It's okay. I would make that pep talk to myself. It is going to pay me off someday. Let's do it. Let's do it. Don't remain invisible in your own skin. And over time I worked on my insecurities. I discovered what I would like to do. And every day, even if the degree is small, today I am not able to contribute that much of time because being a mother, it's not always possible to dedicate 10 hours to your work. But even if I'm able to give 1 hour a day, I think it makes me feel fulfilling. I am able to feel content. And I feel like I'm a happy person. I have that driving force. Okay, I wake up in the morning with that zeal in my eyes, and my heart is full of joy that okay, my life is my way. I am able to make the most of my life. So I think, yes, of course everyone should make that endeavor, even if the situation is not favorable to you. Of course, whenever you will be able to, whenever you will think to start something new, obstacles, the you will hit up by an ocean of obstacles. But then you have to swim, you have to dive in, you have to learn how to swim through the ocean, and you have to get out of it and get out victoriously. And that's what I did. And again, I would like to come up with some other point that you just mentioned, that you have to try one thing after another, one, if one thing doesn't work for you, and like if you are, now you have taken the stand, okay, I would like to live my life following my ambition. But then again, it is not going to be easy for you. It was not easy for me. My many endeavors of mine were like I faced failure. But then again, I was not afraid of it. I knew that okay, one time I may experience the failure, but let me try the second time, let me try the third time. So I think that makes you someone courageous. That makes you outshine the rest of the world. And that's what I did. And I really believe in that you should keep trying, and you should keep yourself moving ahead no matter what.
No matter what. And while I was listening to your story, one line from Shakespeare famous drama Julius Caesar, I assume that you must have heard about it. One line, there was a dialogue: the cowards die many times before their deaths, right? So a person who is coward has already surrendered, right? So I would suggest never keep any kind of connections with this kind of person, because in my life I have also experienced, uh, we were used to have a gang of, we were a gang of 10 friends. It was literally a gang, because we were so notorious, and we all used to laugh, giggle out, and share each and every thing of our personal life, because that was a huge circle. And as by now you must have assumed that I am garrulous, I'm very talkative. So all the time I kept on talking, and in this process I didn't realize that I'm doing one thing very wrong. I'm sharing something from my personal life, which can, which can counterback me. And because of that, I had a very, you can say, altercation with one of my friends. She picked on me. She said, "Oh, you can't afford too many dresses, but see, on the other hand, I am loaded and this and that. It was the incident when we were in 12th standard, long back, but I still remember, you know. And that day, on that day, I realized that if I had an ambition, then I can earn. That was a childish dream, you know. Earlier, I used to think like that, not now. Every time I used to think like I'm a teacher, I'm standing in front of the students, and I got a job, a plum job, where the principal, the authority would giving me a lot of money, and then I would buy a lot of dresses, as many dresses as so that was the first dream that I started, you can say, seeing with my open eyes. That was a rosy dream. And you won't believe that changed everything. I had never been a negative person, never. Till date, I smile a lot and I want to share my smile with others. If sometimes I find that a person is negative, I just part my ways with that special person, because definitely he will throw some reflections of her negativity or his negativity on me. And every day I used to wake up with a dream in my eyes. There was a sparkle in my eyes. I want to do. Whether it was a childish dream, I may buy anything, my dresses. I mean, the main motive for my ambition. But at least you see, you must have that driving force. When I have money, I will buy this and that. By God's grace, I got my first job when I was in my BA first year, right? I
Wow.
got a job in a coaching center, and the students were pretty much, you can say, they were big in size and everything, and they were all boys. But I had that kind of confidence, and what dream was working in my head at the back of my mind? If I get this job, I'll do my best, and then I'll get money at the end of the day. And with that money, I'm going to buy as many dresses. I didn't have any trace of fear on my face, though the students at the end of the batch, they said that to the principal, they complained that the teacher is too young. How could she ever teach me? I was feeling a bit sad because I was literally very young at that time. I was 20 years old, 19 or 20, something like that. So the principal, I don't know, by God's grace, the principal had some, you can say, positive vibe regarding me. And he promised to the students, okay, let's have one session. If you guys, even after having that first session, even if you guys don't didn't want that teacher to continue, we will say a big no to her. I took my first session. Not only I threw two students out of the class because they were not paying attention. And that thing was liked a lot by the principal, and I got my first job. Since then, low looking back. So whenever somebody shares like I'm shaking in my boots, I'm feeling nervous, or there are butterflies in my stomach, at the same time, Monica, just think, I have nothing to do with the world. I am here for myself. Even though I commit a lot of mistakes, it's okay. Everybody commits mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. Even though you are a perfectionist, you are bound to commit mistakes. So, this is how I am keeping the track of progress in my life. I check my own mistakes. I never give that kind of, you can say, role or responsibility to others, because I know the moment I give that responsibility to the other person, they will definitely boss around me. So, I am the boss, I am the queen of my own life. I think like that. And here I am in front of you. So this is my way of living my own life.
Wow, wow. That's really like you are really setting an example. I am moved by your conversation, and I definitely believe that the viewers would also be moved because not just you have experience, but I think you have a strong mindset. So I think that that's definitely something to count on, definitely something to imitate, and I would definitely inculcate whatever I have seen you. The qualities I am able to see in you. I'm definitely going to inculcate those qualities in my life. We had a good, nice, very rocking conversation, as you just mentioned in the beginning that we are going to have a rock conversation. I think we have been able to meet that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And because it was due to you as well, because you were so engaging and so optimistic, that was the only reason we are here and we end up making it rocky.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.